Softball season is coming and your wallet is just as nervous as your kid is and you're a new softball parent, I got you covered. In this video, I'm gonna cover all the things you need if you're a new softball parent, what you need, what you don't need. I don't want you wasting money on the things that aren't necessarily necessities. So we're gonna go over 6 main things that I think you need to get this started and other things that I think your kid might want that you don't actually need but are by preference. So I'm gonna break it all down. So let's get into it. Let's start with the main thing. Let's be real. You're gonna need a glove. But let me break this down for you. I want you to understand how these are 2 versions of a glove, right? So this is a Rawlings glove and this is a Wilson A500. Now listen, if your kid is just starting out, they're most likely, especially a younger girl, if she's doing T-ball, she's gonna be using a small glove. So if she's using a T-ball glove, you can go in the store, find a T-ball glove and you should be covered, right? We should be okay. Don't overthink that. However, if your kid is in coach pitch or maybe even a little older, so let's say 8 years old to 10, they're gonna be using a ball about this size, which is an 11 inch. So you wanna make sure that something could fit. So I would say if you are going, both of these gloves are 12 inches, right? 12 and a half, sorry. Both of these gloves are 12 and a half inches. But look, they're not created equal, so we have to be very careful. Now, if you're a kid that's gonna be an 8U or 10U, I would suggest that this glove is gonna be big enough, because look, the ball fits nicely inside of it, and this is the size ball she's gonna be using. I use this glove to catch for my daughter, but again, I'm pretty familiar with it. To me, the bigger the glove, the better. But be very careful when you walk in the store. You don't want to get a 10 inch or a little small 11 inch. I would say 12 and a half inch is the shortest you want to go, even for an 8U kid. Again, this is 12 and a half inches, but this is the Rawlings brand, just to give you guys an idea, and I'll show you the inside of this one. But then again, this is the Wilson brand. Now, this one's a little bit more expensive, a little better leather, but if your kid's just starting out, just getting her something that she could kind of break, and you don't want this super stiff glove that she could kind of catch the ball with, okay? This is for an 11 inch. So as you get older, you want to understand too, now if your kid is probably in 12U, they're going to be using something, this is a 12 inch ball right here. So this ball's a little bigger size. Again, still fits in here, but you might want to think about a glove a little bigger size, something more along this size right here, okay? But again, we don't want baby gloves. The glove, if we're talking necessity, glove is your first necessity. And I'll do a special video if you want, let me know down below, explaining glove sizes and how to pick a glove, okay? So let's move on to thing number 2, helmets. Yes, you need a helmet. I would prefer you get one with the face mask already in front of it. Not all leagues are gonna require this, but listen, if your kid is new to the sport especially, you're gonna just wanna have the front grill because you don't want her playing at a level and then she gets on a team or something and they require it, then you have to go and attach it. Yes, it might be a little bit more, but listen, I have 2 helmets right here. This helmet right here, my kid had since 8U. She is 12 years old right now, and we bought this and we never had to switch. So these are just 2 versions. This is the Rawlings size and this is the Evo Shield, and you can check on my channel. I have different breakdowns of different helmets, but what I would suggest is getting one with the face mask because yes, your kid is gonna want her own helmet, okay? So yes, so right now, second thing, the helmet. Now let's move on to the third thing, a bat. Okay, this is where it gets really, really tricky. And again, I'll do another video if you guys want me breaking down how to pick a bat, okay? But if your kid, again, is in T-ball, you can walk in the store, find any bat that says the words T-ball on it. That should be good enough. Make sure it's kind of light for them to swing. Now, if we're moving up into 8U and 10U, if this is your kid's first year, don't get caught up into the my husband bat world where you're trying to get the nicest bat for your kid. They're just starting. Take them in the store, find something that they could swing, and you don't want to overdo it. Usually the younger ages, you're gonna be in the 20s. Like when I say the 20s, I'm talking about the length, right? So you're gonna be in those 27 inches, 28 inches, depending on how tall your kid is. And then if your kid is a little older, you're kind of gonna get into that maybe like 29, 30, 31 inches, okay? Just to give you guys an idea, 31, 32, 33, 34, those are kind of like high school, a little older kids. I mean, my daughter swings at 32, but she's about my height. I mean, but she's 12 years old and she's super strong. But anyway, she's been playing for a little bit. But when you're just starting, you're gonna wanna look for the drop. So people ask me all the time, this bat doesn't say how much it weighs. Again, I'll do another bat video breaking down this, but what you wanna do is you wanna look for the drop on a bat. Do you see this, how it says -10? Most of these bats you're gonna find, I'll grab another one. they're gonna have a drop on them. So they're gonna have a number in the very top corner of the bat that's gonna have a drop, and you might only see the length of the bat, right? So you just need to do simple math, okay? Both of these bats right here have the same drop, right? This is a 33 length, this is a 31 length. All you're gonna do is take this one right here, 31 minus 10, and that's gonna give you the ounces. So this one is a 31 drop 10, which means that's a 21 ounce bat. You can go in the store nowadays and find like drop 11s, drop 12s. I think I've seen a drop 13 before. If your kid is just starting out, I would suggest to you could get a longer bat and you could have a higher drop, which means the bat itself will be lighter. So to me, to be honest with you, when you're first starting out and your kid is new, especially if this is rec ball, you're just looking for something they can swing. You don't want to get them something too heavy, because then you're going to get into the whole like balance bats, in loaded. That's for a more advanced video, but we're just starting out, right? So we just want to find a bat that they can swing, and you want to look at the drop, which is that negative number, and you want to see the length of the bat, and that'll give you an idea of how heavy it is. You don't want to get something super long. And again, if you guys want a broken down bat video, let me know, okay? Let's move on to the fourth thing you're gonna need. Okay, now this can be controversial among certain people, but I feel like my daughter's a pitcher, so she's worn a face mask since she was really little. Some leagues are even starting to require that you have it. This is a face mask that they use when they're fielding the ball. So this is gonna be when they're on defense. So when they're using their glove and they're fielding a ball, they're gonna need to wear this face mask. A lot of times the kids only need to wear this when they're in field, right? Meaning playing first base, second base, pitcher, third base, infield, shortstop, something like that, okay? A lot of times when they go to the outfield, they really don't need it. But listen, if your kid is new and she's fearless, I would actually recommend this, because there are so many kids I see, a ball's hit in the outfield, they're like, oh, going for it and have no clue what they're doing, don't have a face mask, and boom, shattered their face. So if there's extra protection, your kid's pretty new to the sport, especially if she's in rec ball, I would recommend getting a face mask. Again, this is gonna last them very long. So this is the Rip It, and you can see a review of this mask on my channel, but this is a Rip It face mask if you guys need one. And again, this is for fielding when they're on the field and playing defense, okay? Again, I'm gonna say this is a necessity, but this is an iffy one depending on your league. Some require it, but I would go ahead and grab one, okay? Okay, next thing we're gonna talk about is shoes. Now, my daughter, I called her privilege, right? Because she gets to play on turf. The fields are super, super nice. But if you're in a league where the fields change, they're gonna want you to get molded cleats, especially for the younger ages. Now, if you have a kid that's like high school on up, this is not even a video for them anyway. We're talking about rec ball, younger kids. 8U, coach pitch, T-ball. This is what molded cleats mean. Sorry, this is my daughter's. These are pretty old. They're kind of gonna just be like this different material, kind of that molded material here, but you just need a pair of regular cheap cleats, especially if you have a growing kid. I don't even know how many pairs of these we've bought already, but I'm telling you, we've bought way too many, okay? Now, there's another version of this, which is called like a turf shoe. If you're in a league like we are, and every single game you play on is on turf, you might want to go ahead and purchase maybe just like, again, I wouldn't purchase a turf shoe. I would get like a molded cleat just to keep it safe, but some places, if they don't allow the turf shoe, you can always wear a good athletic tennis shoe. But again, just to give you an idea, these are turf shoes, but what you're gonna need, I would say, is a pair of cleats, right? And a molded cleat. So that's what they mean when I say molded cleat. And then all of these things that I'm going to talk about, again, they're going to be linked down below or in my Amazon store. And I do get a slight commission if you guys purchase from me. But if you want to support the channel, I would really, really appreciate it. So the sixth thing I would recommend for your kid to have is a bat bag, okay? Don't go too fancy on this. Again, you're gonna get this pink one and then they might never want one again. Our daughter used her bat bag, again, that she had for 8U because we're horrible parents, for a very long time. But I'm gonna show you two versions of a bat bag, right? You wanna make sure that the helmets fit inside the bat bag. So we have two versions of these, okay? This is a smaller version of a bat bag that we have where she puts her helmet in here, she puts all of her stuff in here, and she has two slots where she could carry a bat, and it's more of like a book sack feel. I would suggest you go kind of to the store, get like a cheap version of a bag. Again, just make sure it could fit her helmet, her glove, her helmet, her glove, and her cleats. You just want to be able to make sure, and her bat. You want to make sure those things fit in it. Now I'm going to show you a different version because this brand was kind enough to send me this so I can review for you guys. But this is the Cavacor bag, and this bag is next level. This is a roller bag. Now, I would not consider this a necessity for a rec ball player who's just starting out. This is for another video, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how nice these bags can get. This is like the roller version of this bag, and just to show you how much space, and it has the little handle here that you can pull up and down just to be able to carry the bag. Because my daughter doesn't like carrying on her back because she has way too much stuff. But again, just to stay focused on this video, this is for your kid who is starting in rec ball, right? So we only want the necessities. We don't want to go overboard. So I would just say, find them a good size bag that fits it. I will have some again linked down below if you guys want to check some out, but you just want to make sure that it fits all the gear they need, the glove, the bat, the face mask, and everything like that. And I'm also going to do another video on showing you guys how to pack your backpack, okay? But I just want to recap right now, okay? Glove, check. Helmet, check. Bat, check. Face mask, check. Molded cleats, because you can't wear metal if you're not old enough. You want the molded cleats or a nice pair of athletic tennis shoes. Check, right? A bag to carry all your stuff. So I hope now with all of this information I've given you guys, you have enough to understand what the necessities are. So just as a little bonus, I'm gonna show you some things that maybe your kids don't actually need, but they're gonna want, right? Fancy bat, ghost bats, different bats, different composite bats versus aluminum bats. We have a ton of bats. Listen, don't start getting into the super bat world. Let your kid hit a few balls, get a few good contact, and then you could let them work for a nicer bat. So these fancier bats that you're gonna start to get into and understand, that can come later on. You can just run into the store. You can run into the store right now, grab your kid a bat. Again, make sure they can swing it and it's not super heavy. That is your biggest concern. Another thing, batting gloves, right? This is gonna be something that a lot of kids, stylistic, they just want right now. Unless your kid is out there working really hard and a little older and taking a bunch of reps, then they'll start to get like the little calluses on their hand, but it bothers them. I mean, nothing more frustrating than your little 8U kid standing on deck waiting to go up to bat because they're putting these batting gloves on for 45 minutes. Now, if they really want them, yes, but it's not a necessity, okay? And the other thing is, I don't have it with me right here, but these sliding guards that you put on your hand, not a necessity. Some of these kids aren't even sliding yet. Again, if they're just really new to rec ball, those things are not necessities. But if there is anything that I described in this video that you need me to break down in another video, just leave it down below in the comments. But listen, I hope I helped you guys out. Softball season is coming. I'm super excited. If you guys have any questions, I hope I prepared you guys for rec ball. And congrats. Oh, wait, hold on. Another thing I want to tell you guys that you don't need to buy now, do not buy pants, do not buy socks. I would wait till you get contacted by your coach. You're gonna go out there and purchase a black pair of pants, and then the coach is gonna want gray, or you're in a younger age group and they're gonna do shorts and you didn't need that. I would wait on the gear itself as far as clothing goes, because you don't know the color socks, you don't know the color pants. Your coach is gonna tell you that, and you should have enough time to either purchase that online or you could go in the store and purchase it, okay? But again, like I said, if there was anything in this video you guys need me to break down further, let me know. But softball season is coming and I'm super excited. I hope I prepared you guys for rec. I don't want to intimidate you guys. Only get the necessities that you need. And if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.